name is Aisha and welcome back to belly dance tutorials. In today's class we're gonna go over some basic veil technique in belly dancing. In today's class we're gonna talk about the use of veil in belly dancing, and the topic was suggested by one of my viewers, one of you. Thank you very much. It's a very great topic to talk about. And I'm gonna go over some of the basics of veil using in belly dancing, and I'm gonna go over the types of veils, the shape, fabric, colors, the use of veils in various situations, how to hold a veil and things like that. So even if you are an intermediate level dancer, I'm sure that you'll find lots of information that is still useful for you. And I can bet that some of the things that I'm going to talk about in this video you have not heard before from other teachers. So let's get going. First of all, the use of veil in belly dancing. It's used in Egyptian styling, is used mostly in entrance numbers, mejanse, emergency, different pronunciations, different spellings. The word, I think, comes from the French mejanse, which means setting up the stage. So again, it's used by Egyptian dancers mostly in their opening number as an entrance prop. Egyptian dancers don't use a lot of props, but recently they started to use a veil just for grabbing attention, just to tell people, I'm here on the stage, look at me. So you cannot miss them, you have to notice them. In other styles of belly dancing, like fusion or lyrical belly dance, it's used more intensively and in a more artful way. Especially American cabaret dancers have developed the use of veil to full art. It's very sophisticated and very beautiful. So that's about a little introduction, but today I'm going to go over the Egyptian style of using a veil in belly dancing. But first of all, let's go over some of the fabrics that are used in veils. Most commonly we use silk. It's a silk veil, it's pure silk, organic, or not organic, but natural fabric, natural material. But silk comes in many shapes, many forms, and many weights. So most often you will find online what we call 5 mommy silk, and it looks pretty much like this. So mommy is the density of the fibers, all the weight. It's actually the weight per certain unit. So the lower the number, the lighter the veil. And most commonly you'll find online 5 mommy, which is like this one, which is light. And sometimes the description says light silk veil, which means is a very soft and light veil. It's 5 mommy, sometimes 4. This, I think it's actually a 4, even less than 5. Now, these veils are very slow. They are very flowy. As you can see, they're very flowy. They stay in the air for longer, but they are slow. They are very good in lyrical type of dancing, in slow movements. Just as an example. But they will cling to your costume if you try to move them faster. So they are not very good for Egyptian style dancing, because in mejanse you use a veil very fast and very energetically. And this, once you try to do lots of things with them, they will catch on your costume. They are slow, they have a life of their own, and you cannot fight them because they will win. All right. So that's about the 5 mommy. Now, the next level is the 6 mommy, which is my favorite. This is what I usually use. It's a little heavier. They still flow, yeah, but they don't stay in the air that much because they are heavier. But they still create nice shapes, and they don't stick to your costume as much. You can move them very fast, yeah, and they will behave, right? So, however, in my experience, I have to order these veils from people who are dyeing, coloring, tie-dyeing the veils, because they usually import large amounts of fabric. They cut it and they color it in various colors. So usually they are not ready-made, they are custom-made. So yeah, I ordered this from several places in the United States. And this one is from Sedonia. She is very talented. Most of my veils are from her, and I do recommend her. This is also habotai silk, which is a little bit shinier. So it has a slight shine to it. And they are a little bit more firm than regular silk. Now the regular size is 3 yards length, 3 yards, which is almost 3 meters. The width is standard. This is, I think it's 45 inches. That's how the fabric comes. Yeah, you don't have to do anything about the edges. They are already finished. You only have to cut the fabric. So 3 meters or 3 yards is about this much, 1, 2, and 3, yeah, more or less. An arm length and your shoulder length. If you are a petite dancer, if you're a little shorter, smaller, you can go away with shorter veils. You don't have to use 3 yards, you can use 2.5 yards. Also, if you're dancing in a small area like a restaurant or an apartment, someone's house, you can use a smaller veil. So this is up to you. If you're a taller dancer and you feel like you need more length, you can use 3.5, even 4 yards veil. Anyway, so that's the standard. Size. Now, in terms of shape, you can use a rectangular one like this one, but you can use a semicircular one. So semicircular veils, I use them sometimes in small spaces instead of a rectangular one. Yeah, they are very nice for entrance. But the most use of the semicircular veils is to do a veil dance, so to create shapes with a veil. Sometimes people use 2 veils, so it's called the double veil. And because they have this shape and they are heavier, they hold their shape in the air. Well, maybe not this one, but they usually do. They hold the shape in the air a little longer. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, anyway. So one more thing about the half circle veils. If you're doing a double veil number, use a heavier silk. This is actually a 7 mommy, so it's even heavier than the rectangular veil. So this is 7, even 8. So for semicircular, I recommend heavier silk. This one I tie-dyed myself many years ago. You can also tie-dye your own veils if you are brave enough, or just make some trials, and eventually you'll be able to make pretty veils yourself. Now, another type of fabric that's used in veils is the chiffon. And I have here a semicircular one, a chiffon one. Actually, I use this a lot in small spaces, like in someone's house for gigs, because they don't take a lot of space. They stay closer to my body, so they don't spread out too much. I don't run into, hitting the people with a veil or hitting the cake with a veil. Yeah, so it's a little bit more controlled for that purpose. It stays closer. It's very glamorous with the streaming here, and I only use it for an entrance for a little bit. So, yeah. But they also come in rectangular shapes. So this is another chiffon. Sometimes it's just polyester. So it's just a piece of polyester, like this one. A lot of time costumes come with a rectangular veil like this, a big chiffon one. I actually don't use this probably ever. They are too heavy. They don't float. They are heavy. They don't float at all. And they don't really create really nice shapes. So it's just, I don't find a lot of use. But they can work, and people are using this. So that's about the veils. Now, for Egyptians, they rarely use silk. They use a piece of fabric, and this is how they call it. They call it a piece of fabric. If you use the term veil to an Egyptian, they will think that you are going to use a face veil. So this is what a veil is for Egyptian audience. So I had this experience, and I realized that they have a different understanding for the term veil. They use the term piece of fabric, which I don't know what's the Arabic for that. You can look it up if you want. So that's about the fabrics. It's probably more to talk about that, but I'm going to touch the basics today to give you an idea. So if you are into buying a veil and you want to do a slower routine, you can just go online and buy a 5 mommy veil in different colors. Sometimes they come in 2 colors, even 3 colors, or ombre. They'll be enough for you to get you started. They are not very expensive, but later on you can think of finding a 6 mommy, because I think that's even better for dance in general. They are more expensive, and as I said, a lot of times they are custom made. All right, so let's get into the veil technique. Okay, I'm gonna use my regular veil. I have way more than what I have here on display. But I'm gonna use this one, ombre. It's a pink ombre color. And let's go over how to hold a veil. And I can guarantee that probably for some of you, nobody told you how to hold a veil, yeah? And because not many teachers know how to hold a veil. I've been lucky enough to have a good teacher who taught me that many, many years ago. So this is the way to hold your veil. Put it in front of you first. I'm gonna hold it a little bit closer here so you can see both my hands. And then you hold it like a pair of scissors, yeah? So your index finger is on the outside and your middle finger is on the inside, and you clamp this veil as a pair of fingers, of scissors. And this is how you hold it. And the same with the other hand, yeah? So my 2 fingers, index, middle, index on the outside, middle on the inside, and I clamp the veil, and this is my hold. This is the basic, and this is how you hold the veil, and you don't need to do anything else. And what's nice about it is that your hand is opened. So when you're swinging it around, you have open hands, you don't have a fist. Yeah? It will not wrap around your fingers unless you really try to, but even if it wraps, it'll unwrap by itself. Sometimes I use my thumb for extra security. If I move it a little faster or a little longer, and I want to make sure I don't lose the grip, I may use the thumb as an extra safety grip, yeah? So this is how you start. And from here, if you want to place it behind you, all you have to do is to rotate the arms around your head. I'm not changing anything here, yeah? I'm holding the same grip. My fingers are not moving on the veil, nothing moves, everything stays the same, and I can do all kinds of things with this. Sometimes what I have to do is just to increase the space between my arms. And what happens, for instance, if I enter on the stage with a sailing veil like this, I don't want my hands to be too far out and have a sagging veil behind. So I hold my arms a little closer to each other, yeah? So I have a smaller length of fabric between my arms, so it looks a little better. But when I start dancing and I need a little bit more fabric between my arms, I just slid my fingers, I just slid my hand down the veil while I'm dancing. So now I have more length between my arms. Okay? Alrighty. Let's see. Hope this is clear. Now let's get into some of the moves. What we can do with a veil in Egyptian styling, mejanse in particular. So most of the Egyptian dancers, what they do is just they enter with a veil, they'll swish it around a few times, turn around, but it's not very sophisticated veil movement because all they need to do is to grab attention, saying that I'm here, I'm on the stage, look at the dancer. And they will discard the veil very shortly after 20-30 seconds because in Egyptian way of dancing and Egyptian way of looking at the dance, people are not there to see your veil dancing, they are there to see you dancing. So even if you're using a prop, whatever that is, don't forget to dance. Don't let the prop dance for you. So, okay, some basic things about using the veil in an Egyptian mejanse. The first, the simplest, and the most common way is just to do the veil sailing. It's what you have to just do is just hold the veil up here with the arms up, out, in whatever position looks good on you, and you just walk. That's all. This is the sailing. This is how you come on the stage, and people will just know that you are there. Yeah? The simplest way. Now, a lot of time the entrance numbers have a malfouf introduction in the beginning. So the rhythm is doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek. And people most of the time do a chassé. Maybe I didn't. I'll go over the chassé step in another video. But it's basically step together, step together, step together. Doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek. And with a veil, you can just keep it up here in a sailing position. Doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek, doom, tek. Or you can follow with the arms the pattern of the legs. So you do a swish, a veil swish, veil swish, veil swish. So one arm down, one arm up. So this arm goes down and up, down and up, down and up. And you're trying to do a little circle, a little circular movement. So it doesn't look very choppy, it looks more flowy. So in this space here, it's gonna be like doom, tuck, tuck, doom, tuck, tuck, doom, tuck, tuck. And hold your arms soft, a little, so not straight. Keep the extension in the arms, but the elbows are slightly bent, so we create a little curve in our arms. And also make sure that your arms are up high, they have energy, and not down here. Yeah, so keep the energy in your veil. This is not looking good in an entrance in general. There are exceptions, but when you enter on the stage, just don't drag your veil after you like this. Yeah, just keep it up here, even here, but have some energy in the veil and some presence. Yeah, your veil is helping you and is important, so treat it nicely. So this is a way of moving your arms. So I just did a different type of walking. You just, it's just out, 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 out. Yeah. So instead of doing the chassé, I did an out step. Another way of using the veil in an entrance is just to spin around. That's all. That's all you do. Spinning around with the arms up. Yeah? If you want to add a little more dimension, you can keep one arm higher and the other one a little lower. Yeah. Also make sure that you're looking at your audience. When you spin, this is the way you connect with your audience. So don't look away because you're just entering on the stage. You need to meet everybody and they need to meet you. So look at them while you're spinning. Yeah. The other way of using the veil in an entrance is just to swish it around. This is like a figure eight of the veil, figure eight. Yeah. And again, so from this direction, it's pretty simple. Yeah, one arm down, then you lower the other one, and you switch the arms. So my right arm goes down, left is following, my right arm goes up now. So right arm down, turn it around, and right arm up. Very easy. Again, with this one, keep the arms away from your body, keep the veil away from your body. Don't make it here, or don't keep it really close to your body. Doesn't look good, and you get the risk. You run into the risk of having the veil clinging to your costume. So keep it away. Yeah, keep it away. The veil should not touch you. Doesn't matter the direction. You can try the other direction. Yeah. A little trick here to prevent your veil from clinging to your costume is to spray it lightly with anti-static spray. I have one here, and it's called static guard. Any kind of spray to prevent clinging and static charge you can use. I sprayed lightly before the show, and this will keep the veil away from my costume, and it lasts for several shows, so I don't have to do it every time. I spray it like every 4 or 5 uses of the veil, and it also helps with the veil not getting too wrinkly. All right, so let's see. Other things that you can do in an entrance with a veil is to do this arm lift here, arms up, and your veil will frame you nicely here. You can add a little passe, hop, yeah, hop, or a little arabesque. Hop, hop, with a passe, yeah? Hop, arabesque with a passe. Oops, yeah. So you can use it this way. You can also do a little jump, attitude jump. Hop. I'm always touching the ceiling here. Yeah, it's a nice accent if you have an accent in the song, and you know it's very uplifting and energetic. You can do hop, a little jump, attitude jump, and with a veil up here. All right, let's put some music and let's play around with these moves so far, and see how it goes. So make sure that you are holding the veil correctly. Put it behind you and we'll do the sailing. Sailing, just sailing. And we'll go into the chasse step in a moment. And with a veil swish, and turning around, turn, and attitude, and let's do just the arm up, arms up, arms, we do the attitude again, yeah, we'll turn around with one arm up, one down, figure eight, swishing around, change direction, all right. All right, dancers, this was an introduction to basic veil in belly dancing. There is way more to talk about using the veils in belly dancing. Hopefully I'll do more videos on that, and I will add some more moves and some more knowledge about the use of veil in belly dancing. But I hope that this will get you started, and you'll continue to look into that and to practice that. Hope you liked my class. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also to follow me on Instagram, Aisha_dancer, where I post other like weekly or daily practices. Keep practicing until next time. Shimmy, shimmy.